All right, good evening. It's another Wednesday in Denver. Let me grab a cushion. There we go. I'm having some neck and shoulder trouble today. So we're going to take it easy, maybe end a little early. If you need more of a workout, please feel free to use any of the videos at any time. So let's find a comfortable seated position. Got a very attentive dog waiting to be released. Okay, if you want to go, okay. No, doesn't know what he wants. All right, let's sit. Find a comfortable seated position. Maybe try crossing your legs the other way. And once you've got your low body relaxed and in touch with the ground, let your torso, your spine rise up. Let your arms relax down. Neck is loose. And then last piece is tucking in your chin so that you feel your neck lining up with the rest of your spine. And then begin to observe your breath. Is it shallow, ragged? Whatever it is okay right now. But what usually happens as we observe the breath is it tends to slow down and smooth out. So now let's encourage that by practicing any pranayama you enjoy. I'll just do the very simple inhale and then exhale 1 count longer. So you inhale, count maybe to 4 or 5, and then you exhale and count 1 longer. And if your inhale gets longer, if you started at 4, but now you're at a 5 or 6, just keep adding 1 more to the exhale. And just feel calm coursing through your body as your slow, steady breath brings oxygen everywhere. And now we'll make this breath even more intentional, letting your rib cage fill up like a beach ball and then using your abs to press all the air out for cleansing breaths. Really feel your belly hollow out on the exhale. And on your next exhale, feel free to stick out your tongue. Just a playful way to get rid of that final exhale. All right, now we're going to drop the chin and start to stretch the neck. So let your head hang, let your muscles relax. Your spine remains upright. And then maybe begin nodding or lightly bouncing your head side to side. And then when you're ready, begin to roll your chin from shoulder to shoulder. If you move forward into a pose and it hurts, then just back off into the previous pose. So I'm going back to letting my head hang. But if you're feeling pretty good with the half circle, go ahead and convert to a full circle. And then it's probably time to change direction. And then rolling slowly back up into your erect posture, we'll do the shoulder stretch. So bringing your right hand across, grab your right wrist with your left hand, and then let your ear slowly drop to the left. We're feeling the torso remains upright, so we're not leaning the torso. Just keep it upright and only tilt the head and neck. And you'll feel that across the top of the right shoulder. Let your arms hang. And then inhale up. Maybe lift your shoulders a bit. And then we'll change sides. So now the right hand grabs the left wrist. Torso remains upright. And the head drifts down to the right. Feeling the stretch across the left shoulder. And slowly come back up, release your hands. And now we'll do that again, but with a massage added in. So leaving your, let's see, right hand on your right thigh. We're going to drop the left ear down. And with your left hand, massage the right side of your neck. So your hand has to cross your body. It's your left hand massaging the right side of your neck. Very good. And what we're doing is just kind of dragging your fingertips from behind your ear down to your collarbone. And this feels great on my sore muscles and maybe on yours, but it's also helpful to kind of move things around in your lymph nodes. So that's where lots of bacteria and things will pile up. Your immune system has these little dumps, and we can help the circulation there with a gentle massage. So this is feeling really nice for me. Thank you for indulging me. And then we'll sit back up again. Your left hand comes down, and now the right hand comes up to the left side of your neck. You have to use the opposite arm, or else you're massaging muscles that you're using, and that doesn't really work very well. So you can think of it as pure muscle massage or as a possible immune boost as well. And then we'll come back upright, both hands on your legs, and we'll inhale the shoulders up and exhale down, big rolls with your breath. And you can imagine this as being kind of a warm-up for cat and cow. Imagine that space between your shoulder blades enacting cat and cow pose. Shoulders come back for cow, shoulders come forward for cat. And now let's change direction. Still inhaling with the up and exhaling down. Really getting some motion into those shoulders. And now reach back and clasp your hands and lift. So gently squeezing the shoulders back and puffing the chest out. And make sure your neck is still nice and loose and not stiff here. Lift your clasped hands as far as they can comfortably go. And then we'll exhale and give ourselves a big hug. Grasping your shoulders and pulling them gently forward to stretch the space between your shoulder blades. And release, and now open your arms wide with an inhale. Flip your thumbs, thumbs stay up, my mistake. Thumbs stay up and backs of the hands squeeze backwards. So we're open-handed this time. Still feeling the same compression between the shoulder blades, expansion in the chest. And with your next exhale, another big hug with the other elbow on top. All right, let's open the arms wide again and inhale, reaching high. And exhale, release down. Feel the length in your arms. Inhale, reach. Palms up. Feel your torso expand, and then exhale, release, palms down. I always think of a butterfly warming up in the sun doing this. And then one more time. Clasp your hands now. Turn your palms to the ceiling and we'll twist. So with an exhale, twisting to one side, looking under your armpit. On your next inhale, come back to center. And then exhale the other way. Inhale, center, and now we'll drop one hand and twist. So one hand comes down, and the other is just reaching, maybe bending your back elbow. And then inhale back to center. And drop the other hand, just reaching across your body. Bending the back elbow slightly. And then back up to center, and we'll do a side bend. So exhale, one arm down right next to you, and side bend. Big stretch in the upper side. Pulling your elbow back. Nice. On your next inhale, reach high. Fill your lungs and exhale the other way. So we're keeping the torso rotated to the front. Bending that bottom elbow deeply. But the butt stays on the floor. And up again. Let's finish off with a couple more shoulder rolls. So hands on your knees and just take a couple rolls in each direction. I'm feeling better already. All right, let's make our way to hands and knees for cats and cows. And I like to take the first set really slowly and focus on what's happening here. So your arms are straight up and down, and you lift your spine up into an arch. The belly presses up, the head and the hips drop down, And just pause here in your arch. Think of that Japanese bridge in the famous Monet painting. Feel the space opening up between your vertebrae, especially in the neck and the low back. And then with an exhale, pushing back onto your heels. Feel the stretch in your arms. And when you're ready to come forward, bend your elbows, lift your head, lift your hips. And now you're a suspension bridge, the other kind of bridge, maybe the Golden Gate. And your belly hangs down in cow pose. So now you're in charge of the pace, but you're exhaling back for cat and inhaling forward with cow at your own pace. And when you complete your next circle, join me in tabletop for horse pose. So with your arms straight up and down and your thighs straight up and down, this is about curving the spine into a C shape. So just look over one shoulder toward your hips and squeeze as if you could touch shoulder to hip. Breathe. On your next inhale, come back to center. And then exhale the other way. So just looking over one shoulder toward your hips. The thighs stay straight up and down. It's all about compressing your side, curving your spine laterally. And on your next inhale, come to center. And now we'll make that a little more loose and organic. So feel free now to sway your hips as you look over your shoulder, just kind of lightly bouncing side to side. All right, and now we'll move into the shoulder stretch that I desperately need. Thread the needle. So we'll inhale the right arm high, reach, lengthen, and with an exhale, bring that arm down to the mat. You're resting on your shoulder and your head. Arms come palm to palm. And then slide out your left hand, the top hand, as far as you can. And just pause here, feeling the stretch in both shoulders. And maybe inching your fingers along a little more. Maybe your elbow is above your wrist. Sink into it, and then with your next exhale, wrap your left hand around behind you and let it fall wherever. And then roll your right forearm along the floor with either an open palm or a closed fist, whatever feels best. Let's unwind the top arm, pressing up with your palm against the mat, and inhale the right arm again. Reach high, and exhale back down to tabletop. Other side now, inhaling the left arm reach, and exhale down. Rest on your shoulder, rest your head. Hands palm to palm, and then slide the right hand out. Pause, sink down into it. Let your body weight crush your left shoulder into the floor. And with your next exhale, wrap your right arm around behind you.
left forearm, open or closed hand. Unwinding, the right hand against the mat presses up, and inhale the left arm high. Exhale it down. All right, next up is kickstand. So from tabletop, extend your right leg back, pushing through the heel, flexing your foot. Feel the stretch in your hips, and then we'll swing that leg out to your side and come down to rest on your forearms or maybe a cushion if forearms is not comfortable. So relax your right leg, the extended leg, and reach out toward your right ankle. And then sink down on the left side. Maybe your thigh rolls off to the outside of your shin. So I kind of started with my thigh on top of my shin with my legs folded, and now I'm kind of slopping out over to the left side. And that allows the right hamstring to stretch more. So kind of gently rolling towards your left hip can help you stretch your right hamstring. Your head can hang here if that's comfortable. Bringing your right hand back in front of you, lift up and bring the right foot in. And we'll set up for the other side. So extend your left leg now, push through the heel, flex your foot. And then swing your leg out to the side. Come back to sit on your right heel. So this is where my thigh is directly above my shin. And now I'm just going to kind of roll to the right and let my hips slant off toward the right, and that stretches my left hamstring more. And then reach out for your left ankle. And now we'll bring the left hand back, rise up, left foot, and we're back in tabletop for drunken cow. Hooray! So this is the loosey-goosey pose where you just swirl around, being attentive to any tight spots you might find. So push way back to stretch your arms, swing way forward to stretch your abs and hips. And I'm changing direction. And then let's push back into child's pose. So spread your knees wide, let your big toes touch. Reach out your arms long in front. Rest your head on the mat if you're able. Pushing your rear end back towards your heels. Feel a little bit of that cow pose here, where your belly sinks down and your shoulders are a little closer together. And then we'll do a side bend. Walk your hands over to the right, line up your torso with your right thigh. And I feel this in the arms, but also down in the left inner thigh. And you can rest your head on your upper arm if that feels nice. Relax into it, sink your weight down. And then we'll walk the hands back through the center over to the left side. Line up torso and thigh. Arms reach long. But feel the stretch down in your pelvis as well on the right side. And then hands back to center, and we'll come back up to tabletop, and then swing forward into up dog for an ab stretch. So your arms are straight up and down. If this is rough on your low back, come down to your elbows. Breathe. And maybe look over your shoulders, kind of gently swaying your torso, stretching your obliques. Nice. And then coming back through tabletop, I'd like to flip over onto the back. So we're going to skip conditioning today. I don't want to do anything scary to my neck. So we're flipping over to the back. We're going to hug in the knees and rock. And then place your hands on your kneecaps and guide them in circles. So really let your arms do most of the work here. Pulling knees in, pushing knees away. Exhale when the knees come in. And then we'll change direction. Check in with your low back. Let it relax and be massaged against the mat. Nice. And then keeping your knees bent, lift your feet and grab your feet, your ankles, your shins, whatever you can. And we'll rock side to side here in Happy Baby. Trying to get your thigh down to the floor and then get yourself back up again. That is challenging. Feet are nice and wide. I like to grab the outside edges of my feet. It helps me pull them apart. So this, again, is primarily for the back, but I also feel it in the inner thighs. Let's stop in the middle and bring the soles of your feet together. You can slip your hands up a little higher to your ankles or shins and pull your feet in while you push your knees away. Now we're really focusing on inner thigh and hips, where the hip flexors, where your thighs connect to your pelvis. Check in with your low back. My low back is pretty snug against the mat here. No arch at all. And my arms are actually getting a little bonus stretch here. As my feet lower down, it stretches my arms out. So release your grip near your feet and let them fall down to the mat, but they stay together. So the soles of your feet are together, your arms tee out to your sides. Yeah, and we're just lying here in reclined cobbler's pose. And you might feel good rocking your pelvis gently side to side here. For me, that stretches the inner thighs and the hip flexors. Just kind of gently rocking. And now, of course, the low back is arched off the mat. That's fine. And now let's bring the feet up flat on the mat and we'll do reclined pigeon or figure four stretch. So your right foot is pretty close to your body. Your left ankle is going to rest on your right knee. I like to open up the hip joint first. So take your left hand and press the left knee away. And that really helps me feel the hip joint opening up. Just a couple breaths. like that. And then we're going to reach with both hands around either your thigh or your shin, whatever you can grab. And then lie back, letting your upper body relax. And you're probably really feeling this in the outer left hip. So let your upper body relax down. Maybe you need a cushion under your head if your neck feels overly arched. And try to relax your left hip, relax your whole pelvic area, your glutes, and gently pull your right leg toward you, which will of course press your left leg toward you. So we're just gently squeezing the right leg and feeling the stretch in the left leg. Check in again with your low back, let it be soft. And enjoy that stretch in the outer left hip. Keep relaxing all the pelvic muscles. We hold a lot of tension in the pelvis sometimes. All right, now release your grasp and your right foot comes back down to the floor, nice and slow. Lower the left foot down to the floor. And now rest your right ankle on your left knee. We'll take the right hand and push the right knee away. Just kind of opening up that right hip joint a little bit. And then when you're ready, with both hands, reach through and grab your thigh or your shin. And you may be not able to do the same way on both sides. Maybe you're grabbing your thigh on one side and your shin on the other side. That's okay. You've got to work with what your body is able to do. So again, relax your upper body back as much as possible. Maybe think about putting something under your head if your neck is too arched. And relax into it. Relax your glutes, your outer hip. Relax your lower body. Let the arms do the pulling. And release your grasp. Left foot comes down, right foot comes down. And we're all ready, set up for bridge pose. So with your arms at your sides, feet nice and close to your body. We're going to lift the hips up high. Keep your knees pointing in the same direction for now. Squeeze your arms together, squeeze your shoulders together underneath your torso and see if you can lift that torso up. And feel the stretch in the front of your hips. Maybe you can reach for your heels. Feet forward, knees forward. Feel the stretch in your abs. And then release your arms out and we'll slowly roll the spine down. So take your time, bringing your spine down segment by segment. Tailbone last. And when your spine is all down, hug your knees in. Give your back a little rock against the mat. And then we're going to lift your forehead up toward your knees, grab your heels, and roll like a ball, just gently bopping side to side. And then roll all the way to one side, either one, and push up to seated. Nice. So that was mostly for the back. Let's do a little bit more for the arms, and then we'll do a twist. So coming back to seated, opening the arms wide, spread your fingers, feel the length in your arm span, and then exhale one arm across and use the other arm to hook it into your body. So the extended arm is nice and relaxed. The other arm is supporting it from underneath, and you're feeling that stretch in the upper arm, probably your deltoids, maybe your biceps. Torso is upright, so try not to lean too far. And relax, breathe. And on your next inhale, open wide, fill your lungs. And exhale the other arm across, hooking underneath it, pulling it in nice and close. Feeling the stretch in the upper arms. We'll inhale wide again and reach up high. And with your exhale, drop one hand down between your shoulder blades and grab that elbow with the other hand. So tricep stretch, gently pulling the elbow back, keeping your neck loose. On your next inhale, reach up high. Exhale the other hand down and grab your elbow. Pat yourself on the back. You're doing yoga. Good job. Nice. And then inhale up and reach high. And then exhale and we'll twist. So bring your right hand to your left knee across your body. Bring your left hand behind you and look over your left shoulder. So feeling a twist all the way through your spine. Come back to center. And now we'll change the cross of our legs before we twist the other way. So this is going to feel weird and awkward. Inhale up high. And then exhale, one hand comes down behind you and the other grabs the opposite knee. Ooh. Looking over your shoulder, full spinal twist. And come back to center. We'll extend the legs into stem pose. Just flexing your feet back. I'll sit so you can see my feet. And then inhale up. And exhale forward. Trying to make this more from the hips than from the waist, right? If you're from the waist, you're kind of hunching forward. If you do it from the hips, you can come into more of a jackknife pose. So reaching for your toes, your shins, your ankles, whatever. Let your head hang. Let your low back stretch. And maybe as you soften into this pose, you can gently pull forward just a little bit more. Gently bringing your upper body closer to your thighs. Feeling the stretch in your hamstrings, the opening in your low back. And then release and slowly bring your hands up your legs. And we'll ease down onto the back for Shavasana. Time flies. So find a comfortable way to lie down for Shavasana. Maybe you need your feet on the floor and your knees resting against each other for low back support. So let's relax the whole body from head to toe, starting with the scalp. Smoothing out your forehead. If your eyebrows tend to come together, let them drift apart. Let your inner gaze be soft, unfocused. Maybe your eyes even roll back a bit. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue. Let your whole face go slack. Relax your neck. Relax your throat. Let your shoulders sink back. And feel the softness flowing down your arms, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists. Let the palms of your hands weigh heavy. And let your fingers be soft and relaxed, gently curled, as if you were just holding a piece of fruit, no big deal. And then let your rib cage sink downward. Let your abs sink downward. Let your pelvis sink down into the mat. And feel your whole torso go soft. And then feel that softness flowing down through your thighs and knees, calves, ankles, through the arches of your feet to the tips of your toes. Your whole body is soft. Let your breath be natural. And then take a big deep breath and bring air into your limbs, your fingers, your toes. And let your extremities gently wiggle and roll back to life. And then take whatever pose your spine is craving. Maybe you need a long full body stretch. Maybe you'd feel good bringing your knees up to your chest and curling up in a ball. And when you're ready, roll to one side and push up to seated. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Namaste.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks.